Evening. Sorry to barge in here, friend. I know this place is empty, and you're about to close up. But I was wondering if I couldn't trouble you for a drink. See, I've been on the road for a while now, and I could do with a place to sit down and collect myself for a sec if you catch my meaning. Thank you. You're very kind. I'll have a shot of whiskey, please. No ice. I like the heat. It's a nice place you got here. I was a little surprised when I came across it. Seems a little out of the way, though. I suppose if that's what you want, that's what you want. Ugh. Never was much of a drinker. Till recently. Couldn't trouble you for another, could I? It's been a long day. And I have a suspicion it isn't over yet. Well, your concern is appreciated, but you don't have to worry. It'd take quite a few of these to get me drunk. I've got a strong constitution, toughened up on my travels. I'm a bit of a wanderer, I guess you could say. Last few years I've been going from place to place. Must be getting close to 10 or 12 since I had the place that I could call my own. So, believe me, friend, when I say more shots won't hurt. And besides, money's money, right? I mean, considering how quiet this place is on a Friday night, you could probably use it. No offense, just saying it how I see it. Place is filled with empty chairs. Parking lot's empty. You should at least be doing a last call by now. But there's no one to call to. Other than me, anyway. Look, I'm sorry if I upset you. That wasn't my intention. Here. How's this? Will a bit of money make amends? That's worth like 5 of those whiskey bottles you got back there. And I'm just asking for just one. I thought you'd see it my way. Get to pouring, friend. You're not rid of me yet. Mind if I ask how long you've owned this place? Oh, you inherited it. Forced into it, more likely. Things are starting to click together a little, I think. Again, sorry if I upset you earlier. But when you've been on the road as long as I have, you start to see the same sorts of places everywhere you go. The businesses that were booming just a few years ago, but nowadays can barely make ends meet. Places where you talk to the owners, and it's always the same story. They want to escape, but nobody's looking to buy, and it's like they're chained to it. Like the place has a grip on them, and they just can't get out, no matter what they do. I can relate to that. Believe me. Better than that, I'm going to help you finally do it. If that's what you want, of course. I thought so. It's a little gift I picked up recently. I can always tell what a person wants, what their soul is yearning for. And most of the time, they want to be free. Free of different things, of course. Sadness, pain, something more external, but free nonetheless. So let me tell you how I'm going to help you. I'm going to buy this place off your hands. And all it's going to cost from you is that you listen to a little story I've got to share. I've never told anybody this. And, well, today's my birthday. And it'd just be nice to talk to someone for a change. Someone who knows what I've been through. My name's Crash, by the way. Sandy Crash. Might be a little goofy, but hey, that's what I'm called. And truth be told, I kind of like it. It fits. Now, what you'll be hearing the next few minutes might sound crazy, maybe even a little insane, but I want you to know it's all true. And considering the world we live in, superheroes flying around and whatnot, maybe we're all just a little crazy, huh? I'm not a superhero, though. Let me just be upfront about that. I have met a few, and some people consider me to be one, but that's not what I am. Nah. I'm no hero. Just a dumb idiot who gets accused of being one. Oh, and could I get another shot before I start yapping, please? I'm still way too sober for what's coming up. Thank you. Keep 'em coming. I promise I can take it. Right. So it all started on the day I was born. No, not really. Sorry, I've been wanting to use that line for a while. And it's nice to have a bit of humor every now and then. Helps break up the dark stuff that's about to follow. Did you hear that bike I pulled up on earlier? It's my dad's chopper. He was a stunt driver, one of the nicest souls you could ever meet. You could go to him at any minute of the day, and he'd sit you down and tell you stories about the films he's worked on. I don't know if Crash was originally his last name, or he changed it to that, but he loved his job. used to sneak me in on the sets to watch him in action. He never had been much of an actor, but he loved being on camera, and doing stunts was his way of doing it, even if that was the reason he got killed. It was for some dumb action movie. I don't even remember what it was called, but I was on the set the day it happened. He was performing a death-defying leap. He just landed wrong, got thrown off his bike, and yeah, one mistake and that was all it took. Worst part of it is, they didn't even end up using the shot. CG'd it on something in the end, so my dad died for nothing. Those were some pretty dark days. I was only a teen when it happened. Been training to be a stunt driver myself. What can I say? I've never been particularly inventive. Anyway, after seeing that I could carry on, I took my dad's chopper and left, not really knowing where I was going, but I was heading somewhere. And I wasn't alone. My girl Rita, she was a childhood friend of mine, who actually stayed friends with me past childhood. She decided to come along too. My dad had been a second father to her. Lovely girl. But boy, had she had a temper. If you got on her bad side, which I did far too often. Still, she was a loyal woman. Rarely left my side. Sad to say, though, that's what got her killed in the end. Another shot, please. What can I say? I told you I could put him away. Now, where was I? Oh yeah. Rita and I, we did our own thing for a while. We worked odd jobs, just enough to keep us going before moving on. And despite the tragedy that has set us on the path, we were happy, content in our own little world. Till that got taken from us. We were in Phoenix. It was my birthday. We'd been out partying, so we weren't fully cognizant, I guess, when the bad stuff finally happened. Some big jerk came out of nowhere and grabbed Rita from an alley we were passing. I thought he was a mugger or something worse, so I leaped at him. I've been in a few fights in my time. I'm not too shabby. But before I could stop him, he gave me this look, and I froze stiff. I simply couldn't move. It was an enchantment, you see. My first encounter with the supernatural and the occult, but it wouldn't be my last. The guy who grabbed us, I learned later his name was Father Warren Kane. leader of a cult named the Disciples of Torment. I'm not sure if you've heard of them, but they're pretty bad news. Been making the headlines a lot recently. Anyway, next thing I knew, Rita and I were tied down on some kind of sacrificial altar. Robed cultists chanting over in our heads, and Father Cain brandishing a dagger he was quite intent upon using. Now I knew what was happening. I'd seen my fair share of horror movies, and I also knew there was nothing I could do. We were strapped down, about to die, but the worst part was that they hadn't blindfolded us. I could see everything going on around us. And I could see Rita's terrified eyes, looking at me, blazing into my soul, wanting me to do something. But like I said, I couldn't. I don't know why they chose to kill her first instead of me. It's a question I ask myself every day. Maybe the ritual they were performing had a specific order. Maybe I was just unlucky, but that's what happened. The dagger plunged into the love of my life, and she was gone. No, it's okay. I've not come to terms with it. Never will. But, yeah. Thanks for caring. Anyway, next thing I knew, there was a sound like the crack of thunder above me, and all of the cult members got very excited. Forming above us, it was something like a red mist. A mist that could move, that could think. Even back then, looking at it through the tears, I knew what it was. Rita's death as part of the disciples' ritual had summoned a demon into this world. And I was going to be its first victim. Only that didn't happen. See, the demon seemed to realize what was going on around it. The cultists were planning on binding it. You understand? On having it serve them. And this demon, it had no desire to serve. No. Instead of devouring me like the cultists wanted it to, it possessed me, and the two of us struck a deal. We would be partners. It would get to remain free to an extent, and I would get revenge on the cultists for what they'd done to Rita. Seemed a no-brainer at the time. And that's when it happened. At first, I thought I was dying. My face, my skin, even my skull were melting, replaced by flames. The flames of hell. It was then I realized I wasn't dying. I was transforming, becoming the demon's anger and vengeance personified. The cultists didn't like that. They tried to kill me. But it wasn't me or even the demon they were facing anymore. It was something in between. A fusion of my body and its power. We burst from our restraints and ripped and tore through them until there was nothing left. It was terrifying. Father Kane had got away, of course. Figures had an exit strategy just in case. Which meant my revenge wasn't done and that Rita hadn't been avenged. So for the last few years, that's all I've been trying to do. Me and the demon. I call it torment after the cult that summoned it. We've been riding from town to town and city to city, stamping out any trace of the disciples that we find, always looking for the monster that created us, but never quite finding him. Now, I've seen and done a lot of terrible things in pursuit of that goal. But if I'm honest, I can't say I regret one of them. These are evil people, friend. Monsters that need another monster to stop them. And after all this time and all these years, I'm thinking that might just be me. Yeah, that brings us to the present day. Hope I didn't ramble too long for you. Well, I'm happy you believe me. Is it the way I said it? Or maybe the look in my eyes? Doesn't matter at the end of the day, I suppose. Fact of the matter is, there is a reason I came to the establishment tonight. Other than the drinking, I mean. A cell of the disciples are tracking me. I hit one of their bases nearby, and they've been pursuing me since. Torment can't manifest in direct sunlight. And even if it could, I would have still gone on the run. The demon's power. It's too strong for use in populated areas. Better off in the middle of nowhere where only the guilty will get hurt. Where innocent blood won't be shed. That's why I'm going to buy this place off your hands, friend. My way of making amends for what's about to happen. Taking a lot of the disciples' money, you see. And I'll gladly pay if it helps you and keeps anyone undeserving from being injured. So here, take this cash. Live your dreams and... Oh, hell. I was hoping you'd be gone before they got here. That's what I get for wanting to talk to someone. Got that from my dad, I guess. The demon, it comes out when the guilty are nearby. I I can feel it starting to wake up inside of me. They're coming. Both the cultists and torment. Get behind the counter, friend. These guys know what they're dealing with. And they could be waiting at the back. They're gonna come here shooting. And you're not going to like what happens next. Whatever you do, don't get torments. Attention. I try to direct it towards the guilty, but wanna know a secret? I don't drink because I enjoy it. I drink to suppress the pain. Hello everybody, this is Mushan ASMR. I hope you enjoyed that script, sharing a drink with a demonic superhero done by the man, the myth, the legend, Golden Proxy, who actually told me I would be a good fit for this script, so they let me do this one. Thank you so much for allowing me to fill it for you. And yeah, so a little update with the streaming stuff. I may be able to stream next week due to I have to be out by the 3rd, so I might be able to squeeze in some streams. We'll see how it goes, but look forward to that. Also tomorrow I will be streaming because I did not stream on Friday or Thursday. I didn't stream on Thursday, so I'm going to be making it up. I am not sure exactly due to weather conditions and all that stuff. We may have a collab going on that day, but if not, we will be picking up where we left off on Friday with either Honkai Star Rail or Marvel Rivals or something like that. We'll get there. We'll figure it out when we get there. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out and lets me know that you guys enjoy the scripts that you listen to. I love doing them, and hopefully I will have at least 1 or 2 more scripts out there for you guys for this week. But yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is in your time zone. And stay wholesome, my friends. Bye-bye.